The Real Housewives of Potomac, season 10, episode reunion part 3. I think it's episode 20. All right. So, what evidence did Monique have? It was a phone call, which I believe everybody kind of know with the blogs. It was her kid. So, of course, they can't show it and they can't, air the noise, the audio. So, we just heard a bunch of beep for 30 seconds or so of, I guess, the kid explaining that they knew Stacy or seen Stacy with their dad or whatever. So I guess that was supposed to prove that that Stacy and Chris somehow did meet and connect somewhere along the way. Kiana tried to throw in some 2 cents to, I guess, confirm, but it had to do with Cookie, and I think we all know about that situation. Like, we can't believe that. And most likely it is Cookie who's doing all the back and forth telling on people. Like, it's most likely her. Stacy, of course, defending herself because her and Chris ain't got no dealings with each other. She don't know why, bleep bleep person would say such things. And she done moved on. She, got back with Timu and her family. And, so why would she do, especially when she already went through a said divorce. Remember, she went through a divorce and a custody battle or whatever. So understanding, connecting those things, I wouldn't do such things to a fellow housewife, coworker, new friend when it comes to an ex-husband. Like, we don't want to bring no problems to you. If that's because that's pretty much is what's happening. Anything they get back to Chris, he's using it against Monique and taking her to court for it. So that's the stuff they need to stop. Wendy was over there with her turned up face a little bit. Andy asked her what that was all about. I guess she was hoping that Stacy would confess something, but Stacy didn't. And ultimately, it's really just about what Monique thinks. And so here on the show is what, the phone call and things was her confirmation that Stacy and Chris had some type of dealings. But current day, like today, in the blogs, she came out and said that Stacy is in the clear because she did some more research or whatever behind the scenes to figure out that, yes, Stacy was telling the truth the whole time, and whatever has been happening between her and Chris is something else and somebody else doing it. Okay, so this is time for Giselle and all her shenanigans. Why did she exclude Stacy and Nevis from all her little gifts and trinkets that she passed out to people? Remember, she was putting their names on everything, and she kind of left Stacy out with hers just being plain. And of course, it's always a joke for Giselle. It was supposed to be fun and games. She was being shady. She did it on purpose. She was supposed to give her what's Stacy wearing? A medium? But I think that robe was like a large, so maybe she needed a medium or a small because she's skinny. It's just she tall, so I don't know. But that was it. Angel knows now not to have no more silent circle events with the girls because don't nobody like them sound bowls and that meditation crap. Like, it's been done like a million times on all the shows, so these ones, nah. Nobody ate Stacy potato salad at that cowboy party. Well, we did see Wendy and Eddie taste it, but she said it wasn't the worst. It was like all them shenanigans them girls did at that polo event. Remember, they was singing the wrong national anthem and things like that. T is good. She still works. Look, she still works there. They mess up too much. Angel, giving her trip with the 2 separate houses because should we say 2 separate houses? Well, yeah, because she did split the girls up. 2 or 3 of them came to her house. Oh, Tia and Kiana or something like that, and everybody else stayed at the lodge. Yeah, she figured out that's not how girls trips work. Which, you get one house and everybody shares, or you get a hotel and everybody has their own respective rooms, or you get the villa and everybody got their own rooms on said villa. Okay. And then he asked her about was it? Not. No, see, I forgot that quick. Giselle's room. I forgot about that. How her and Ashley had to share. It was her little get back. I mean, duh. We all knew that though. All right. So before we get into the wrong location, getting lost, she does apologize for the no water thing. I guess in her eyes, she was just trying to solve the problem, which was, I think, move them from that house and get a whole new house. I think that was supposed to be the plan. Besides, I think she called the owners and the landlords for them to come and fix the problem, which the landlords told her that they did, but it turns out that they didn't. So it was just real all messed up. So she did apologize a million times. Of course, Giselle isn't accepting anything. Her taking over the trip, did anybody feel bad about that? Of course, Kay raised her hand because, Angel is her friend. So I got to defend. Tia, I don't know why she didn't say nothing because Giselle clearly said anybody who wasn't in the house. And that was kind of a little bit nudge to you. But she just sat quiet, whatever. But she did have her hot water, right? Okay. But anywho, the little back and forth, it was, I think everybody, like, let's say if it was me, okay, of course I would have been mad, like, dang girl, how you got us sit here in this situation? We in the woods, we don't know where, what I'm saying? But I probably wouldn't have tried to take over the trip. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have did that. Yeah, I guess we're gonna leave that Colorado on. Look, drop a pin on it because it was production. Whoever was in production was at said location that they were supposed to be at and sent it to her. So that's the address that she followed. Okay, getting there somehow, somewhere along the way is where they got lost at. Okay, so I don't know how that happened. No, say that's between her and the production, whoever else that she was working with. Andy is actually moving on pretty quickly when it comes to these things. I noticed, and I don't know if y'all noticed. He's like, okay, let's move on. Yeah, so Giselle and them still mad. We ain't never finished the episode at a gas station. Like, I mean, we could have at least wait till they got home and then seen their little reactions off of that, like normal. But it is what it is. It was a big dramatic moment. They probably didn't do nothing after that. So that's probably why they stopped filming then. Or just, did the episode then. But either way, Angel feels that she doesn't deserve all the flack that she's getting because, apologize a million times to y'all. Like, how many times I gotta say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I tried. Y'all can either accept it or don't accept it. It is what it is. It's over and done with. We can't change the past. Like, dang, give me a break. And honestly, they acting like of all the trips they've been on, like every trip you go on, something happens. Every trip, it's always something on every show. It's not even just like Potomac. Somebody's either getting hurt, like somebody's losing something, somebody luggage ain't arrived. Like it's always something. But we gonna blame Angel today on Potomac. Jazzy is out and enter the Grand Dame. Or does she want to be the Grand Dame anymore? Miss Karen Huger. She says no. I mean, she's trying to turn over a new leaf these days and shed that persona, and just move on and just be Karen. And, do the ladies miss her? Of course, Giselle does because she ain't got nobody to... she ain't got nobody to banter with. Technically, without no Karen, her or Ashley ain't got nothing to do. Ain't got nobody to argue with, and take it there with them and be fun. Because everybody else, they trying to, but they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Or they taking it too personal. So yeah, most of the ladies are happy to see her. She ain't seen Wendy obviously in a while. But Wendy is, good to see you. Of course, Monique down there. What's up, girl? Ain't seen you in a minute either, but good to see you too. And surprisingly, she actually has met Angel and Tia, I believe she said, at some point, or she reached out to them while watching the show. So that's kind of cool. It's not like it's her first time meeting them, so they kind of are familiar. She said that Giselle has been the most supportive while she's been away. And just a little bit before Karen even came out, they were kind of talking about her just a little bit, about the interview that Andy had did with her, that little one on one. I guess they did kind of feel that it went pretty good. She did take enough accountability, I believe. It was just, her wording sometimes she didn't, it was like she wasn't trying to, admit, but not admit at the same time to her actual problems. Okay. Jeez, this who live in Potomac crap. I mean, we know Karen out of everybody does live the closest. Okay. But anywho, um, her and Stacy relationship, I mean, it doesn't necessarily exist at the moment. I guess for Karen, she asked her about, lying. Did you lie? Did you lie? Because, that's the whole thing about Stacy. She's a liar. She's a liar. God, who cares? Like, I can't believe that's what they stuck with the whole season. All because of TJ. Like, see that confusing talk she did, because Andy showed to ask her, because you did in that dang interview you wouldn't say yes or no if you alcoholic or not. You kept saying other stuff. You in recovery for the rest of your life. Like, what does that mean? But for her, I guess it's empowering words instead of just saying, oh, I'm an alcoholic, because she not gonna say it. She uncomfortable with it. I guess, well, she did say that the therapist told her that she be in denial a lot. So I think that's part of the delusion, right? It is what it is. So, when BravoCon came, that was Karen's debut back into the world, I guess we should say. And she got a standing ovation. And, that was cute and all, but a lot of people did feel like, did she really deserve that? And I mean, it's like a yes or no situation, right? Because she did the crime, but hey, she did the time. Or at least the time they gave her, okay? So technically she did it. And it's, as long as she continues, to be a good citizen, shall we say, and stay sober, she should be good, right? Monique over there getting a little bit emotional. I mean, I don't think this probably is the first time that they've seen each other in a while. And they used to be cool. Karen was there on her side when the fight happened, right? So it is, like they had a connection. And for her, it just makes her a little bit emotional, probably because of the journey that she took upon herself. So it's like, yes, if I can do it, you can do it type thing. So she just proud of her in that aspect. Because, like I said, Karen, she look all right. She look decent. She look like she doing good. Oh yeah, so Karen does admit that, that Ashley story that Ashley had said was actually true. The one that Wendy said, maybe not so true. I don't know. But it's pretty much because, they don't see eye to eye right now. So anything that Wendy say is fake in her eyes, but technically it could be true. Okay, Karen tripping now. Because her and Wendy go into this back and forth about why they don't get along no more. And it's because who betrayed who, right? Um, Karen tried to bring up the stuff that Stacy said to Wendy that Karen had said to her. Okay, so it's basically you going back telling people what I said, this kind of thing, which technically she should have been mad at Stacy, not necessarily Wendy, right? Because it was about Wendy. Then, but Wendy caught that, like, girl, you trying to flip it. And Wendy's point was because you came basically talking about my mom. And we know, it's a little hot, a little sensitive subject for a lot of people, candy birds. But yeah, we don't talk about Miss Mama Wendy, okay? So, right, especially on this. She thinks she only Mama. Oh no, we use Sheila. I guess we're talking about Sheila. But either way, um, when that whole the shrine and all that stuff came up, and she a witch doctor, and she putting hoodoo and all that stuff on y'all. Y'all better watch out. Giselle and them were, I think, mainly the ones who kind of jumped on the bandwagon, with their little, ooh, I heard, and it might be true, and this and that, and NECA said this and NECA said that. But Karen, she always held Karen up on a higher standard than all the other ladies. I'm guessing it's because she older, things like that. She took her to the White House with her, like, highly respect the lady. But it's like she keeps stabbing her in the back, keeps stabbing her in the back, keeps stabbing her in the back. And Karen keep doing it because, yeah, you talking about, okay, well, I apologize for, coming at you for your mama. But I do agree with your mama for telling you to shut the fuck up. Like, for real, Karen. Yeah, before we get into the Wendy and Eddie thing, yeah, just Karen and Wendy just not gonna get along at this point. Like, they both at least crossed the line somewhere with each other. So we'll get back when we can get back because we know Wendy going to jail. Okay, so it's pretty much a lot of the ladies' reactions first right now, okay, before Wendy can actually explain herself. But we do know this season she did a lot of renovations on the house. Happy Eddie got upgraded. She finally got in contact with her daddy. And then her and her mama, her sister almost got into a fight, right? Then comes the whole lawsuit. Well, it's not a lawsuit. The charges, okay? They got arrested, this and this and that. All the ladies had their own opinions. Angel and Kay kind of came, well, actually, I mean, everybody kind of came a little bit hard on her, a little bit soft, but a little bit hard because, Stacy, oh my God, so heartbroken. Kay, obviously, ooh, I'm sorry, but they wasn't cool like that, which Angel and Kay kind of felt that that's why they got treated the way they got treated by Wendy is because she kind of already knew that this was about to pop off. So she was doing a lot of deflecting or, misdirected anger when it should have been, probably at herself or her husband or whatever. Because, yes, Giselle did bring that up. Because she's not going to go too hard on her, I guess, feel bad for the kids and all this type things. But, right, did you or did you not? After we talked about, what we do with our husbands and our monies and how we spend the monies and who pay the bills, you said in that conversation that you don't know nothing. I don't pay nothing. Eddie do everything, um, which we've heard before on certain other different shows with certain other ladies. Um, but yeah, and so it kind of doesn't make sense, right? If Eddie is doing everything, but you are doing XYZ for what? Right? I don't know. It doesn't make it. Yeah, so that part, yeah, okay. Because you just doing it to go shopping, or was you doing it to get the money to pay the bills? So I think that, yeah. So yeah, just see. Well, she can't admit to nothing here, right? This is recorded. These people watch the shows. They gonna write it down. They gonna. Mm-hmm. So she can't really say much. We already know that. All right, so I'm gonna forget the first date here, but she explains how she did not know that this was happening because the burglary happened, what, a year ago, right? 2024? Or so that's 2 years ago, right? We know she was arrested this past October. That's 2025. So yeah, about a year went by. Um, and you know what? See, and this is they bad criminal because that was the sign right there. You talking about your kids said, oh, the dog made a mess, and the dog don't normally make a mess because you always take it outside. Which, I mean, I take my dog outside too, but hey, every once in a while, randomly, he might make a mess. It happens, right? So whatever. That said day is when they made the police report that somebody broke into their house. Okay, we know that from the said reports because it's out there. You can read it. Um, they said certain things were taken and this and this and that. It was only a couple things knocked over, shoveled, disheveled in the house, so it didn't really look like something happened. But anyway, the police report was made. Year fast forward to October. That's when they, knock on the door. Hey, your Cecils, y'all arrested for, do 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 do. So she's saying basically between that time, of course, they had no inkling. But see, girl, that was the inkling. I can't believe it. And she said the same officer came to do the report for the burglary. See, you should have known. She should have known. Yeah, and seeing Karen, that's why I was saying it. Well, I'm thinking it in my mind. Don't explain too much. You right. Shut the F up. It wasn't because, oh, your mama said it, whatever. It's because, girl, anything you say right now is recorded on the TV to everybody. They are watching. They are taking this as evidence. You will go to jail. Okay? You take it for somebody who was already there. She was on the show. Remember, she kept trying to say, I can't talk too much. I can't say, ooh, no, I don't want to. And she never really said too much. And she had her cup of waters and she had her ginger ale. And she was trying to keep real straight because anything I say or do will be used in the court of law. And we don't know exactly what they used on her, but if they run the tapes from the past seasons to see, there was a whole bunch of talk about her and drinking and DUIs. Like, it was already out there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they watching. You go incriminate yourself, girl. Now that I'm watching this and just it's really sad, y'all. It is really sad that her and Eddie done got themselves in this predicament like this. They families have came together. So, that's kind of what you need in times like this, his side of the family, because remember, they wasn't even messing around. But it makes sense. Like, dude, we can't let you go down like this. So, the narrative that she trying to keep up with the Joneses, like, what's all that? What's that about? Like, you just wanted to be fly for the show, or what was going on? She didn't really respond to that. If that's people's opinions, that's people's opinions. I just think she wanted to be fly for the show because if we can remember, she after she came on, she did her mommy makeover, and then we was like, why is Wendy dressing like this? Why is she like it just upgraded from there? And that's why her and Robin fell out because girl, you was not like this before, and now you like these. So, okay. Um, when it comes to the 67 credit cards, like, oh my God, 67 credit cards? Are you even allowed? Well, I guess you can if you're using fake names, okay? Because Pam Oliver is one of them. She said the alias names were used just for package and delivery only, which we know some celebrities do sometimes. But there are no credit cards or anything falsely in, these fake names that her and Eddie have created. And she says that when it comes to them being brokey broke, like in debt, she said, I mean, respectful to the courts, but that's their opinion. She not gonna say she is or she not. I mean, obviously, who's going to admit that? It just sucks. Like I said, the more I watch, the sadder it gets. Oh, jeez. So, Wendy and Eddie's relationship, for now, it's fine. They're gonna get through what they're gonna get through. Hopefully, they make it out together. The children, obviously, who gonna take care of them? So to speak. I'm thinking that they're gonna get the Teresa Joe treatment where they let Teresa go first, come home, and then they ship Joe off. I think that sounds about right in their situation, right? If not, they got family they can rearrange, but she says hopefully it don't get to that level. And then, Andy just giving it to her straight. I mean, because the case is pretty solid. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like they going. We just don't know what kind of time they gonna give them, but they're going. We just hope it's not going to be that 15 to 20 because what? I mean, really, you can't. I can't go. I cannot go away for this long. Like I will never be able to see my kids or nothing. Like I can't. I can't. It just is unreal. But either way, Andy is just, whew, sympathizing at this point because Wendy came on this show, and it's very disappointing. If of all the ladies on this show, when she came on here, I got the 4 degrees. I'm a political commentator. I'm, this and that. I work, like very established lady, very confident, doing the thing. Her kids looking at her and Eddie, oh, that's so cute. And you gonna go and do this? Like basically, you stealing. Like I say, you gonna go steal? Like what the? That's just the dumbest thing. Especially now that y'all got the money with the Happy Eddie. Cause come on now, the weed business, you're gonna make some money. She can quit her job and they can do that for the rest of their life. He can quit his job too. Cause remember it's all messed up. So I am very disappointed in her. I can't believe it. And I'm glad that Andy is just keeping it straight because we worried, basically, is what he's trying to say. Like, we worried that this is not going to be the best outcome. So, we going to miss you, girl. we love you, and she getting emotional about it. And I actually get a little emotional myself because, like I said, the more you watch it, the sadder it gets. And I just feel so bad. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Over a Gucci bag. And we gonna leave Wendy, on a little high note, some good encouraging words from Karen because obviously, she been there, done that. So as much as we can be mad at each other, girl, I feel for you. And hopefully this works out. And, we all keeping our fingers crossed because it's just all messed up. And it's just something that we just don't want to see her go through. But she's going to be all right. Regardless of anything, be strong as she always been and she'll get through it. And, we say goodbye to Karen and Wendy with a good appreciation because what is it, season 10? And we have the oldies sitting on the couch. I mean, we're missing a couple, it's a couple few, but Karen, Giselle, Ashley, Monique. Thank you. Let's say, look, thank you for your services. And hopefully Monique can stay with this friend role on the show. I think this is where, she'll be all right. And then hopefully, she can go full time eventually. Like maybe not this next year. Or, well, actually, yeah, because it's Wendy gone. Who gonna fill the spot? And Angel about to leave, I think, too. So, and oh no, thank God there's no more Jazzy. Did y'all see that? She gave her leaving speech. It was not needed. All right, so we leave with everybody giving their last remarks as we normally do, what they've learned. That package about Nevis was for you, Giselle. I think you kind of missed that because she said, "Oh, I didn't get my package." No, that was it. I was like, that was it. You did the Nevis trip and then you took over Colorado. That was it, girl. So she tried to say, "Oh, my kids this," and she got new business stuff coming and everything. And I said, "It's every hue," because we don't know where it went. But either way, maybe she'll do better in the future is what she at least tried to say, at least with these girls groups, because all she does is haze people, and that's not really conducive to the show, technically, right? Everybody else, they learned some stuff. I think Stacy was probably the main one that sticks out because, girl, you ain't got to change. I like you just the way you are, okay? Stay just like that. But yes, you do need to be a little bit more direct because this lying stuff, that's not gonna fly. Okay, you already strike two seasons. We ain't gonna do number 3. Keep your stories in order. That's all you have to do. If you say this, remember what you said and say it again. That's all you got to do. That way nobody can say, well, you did. Nope, because I said it this way and I said it, boom, like problem solved, right? So she ain't got to change. I like Stacey a lot. And she from Michigan. Like, I mean, why not? And Wendy, I mean, yeah, she appreciates that the girls didn't come hard on her because I think, well, did I expect that? I think I expected a few jabs at her more than what we got. I think we knew Ashley was going to hit her a little something, something. I think I expected Giselle to hit her with a little something, something, but she didn't. Um, yeah, I think everybody respectfully uh, gave her their words, and we'll move on from that. And like she said, everybody got different situations going on, so if we can just be kind to each other, that's all we need, right? That's all we need, and we can be better people. And this was the end of the show, the end of the season. So season 11. Ooh, I wonder when they're gonna start filming. This is March. They could either wait a little bit because I believe Wendy's trial, it starts in March. Did it happen this week or is it next week? Yeah, I gotta look it up. But I wonder, are they going to follow her in the trial, like that, or will they kind of wait a little bit and then pick up filming like maybe in the summertime or something? So we'll see how it goes. Either way, I think it will be good to see Karen back on season 11 if she comes back. I think it'll be okay as long as she stays sober as she's supposed to be. Like I said, I think she on probation anyway, so she has to, guys. Like, if y'all know how it works, she got to do something. So she'll be all right. I think she can come back to the show. And Monique, I liked Monique this season, and I think she should come back as well. Keep her coming. Angel, I do like to give the newbies a second chance, but if she doesn't come back, that's fine. We don't need no Jazzy because that was Mia's friend, and Mia's not here. Ashley need to step it up, or she needs to go. Like I said, like Stacey and Giselle. Giselle needs to step it up too, or she need to go. And who else is left? Kay. I don't know if Kay should be here either, but sure. And say, but sure, she helps things move along. And the newbie Tia. She's a new girl, so I think we should give her a second chance as well. And that'll be it. Yeah. Decent season. Just, too much piling on Stacey and too much piling on Angel. Other than that, fine. Hopefully in the next season, we can take it in a whole new direction, fresh. And it should be great. And I'll see y'all later for when we get there next year. Thank you for sticking it through. Boom. Reunion part 3. It is over. Bye.